All right, everyone, we're going to get started. Oh, sorry. No, not yet. All right, everyone, please stand for a short prayer and salute to the flag. Almighty God, grant us the wisdom to make those decisions that are in the best interest of us all, of all of our residents. May the Heavenly Father of us all bless those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to our nation, and may He watch over and protect our servicemen and women, now guarding the gates of freedom. Salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we sit, I'd also like to have a moment of silence. Our former councilman, Tom Marcinsick, passed away over the weekend, and also a moment of silence for those who passed away on September 11th. We commemorated the 20th anniversary on Saturday with a great job done by Ken Kelly and his crew. So, a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Statement of publication, please.
Take notice that this regular meeting of the mayor and council being held on this 13th day of September 2021 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Conti. Delina.
Here.
Enriquez.
Here.
Mar.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Thank you. Can I have an approval of the prior minutes for the meeting scheduled that was on August 16th, 2021? Can I have a motion to accept those minutes? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Novak. Yes. Conti. Yes. Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Roberts.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We have no proclamations and presentations tonight, and there is a need for executive session.
Yes, Acting Mayor, whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231 permits the exclusion of the public from meeting in certain circumstances, whereas the public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Sayreville, State of New Jersey as follows. The public portion of this meeting is hereby adjourned in order that the governing body may be closed in private session for approximately 15 minutes to discuss litigation. Following the conclusion of said closed session, the governing body shall reconvene the open portion of this public meeting to consider any other matters. The nature and content of the discussion which occurs in closed session shall be made public at such time for non-disclosure no longer exists. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Conti. Yes. Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Roberts.
Yes.
Thank you. We're going to ask everyone in the chambers to walk outside, if that's what we do.
You want to?
You going 310? 310? Okay. Sorry.
We're going? We're going 310? Okay. I'd like to.
No, the attorney's right there.
Zach? It's warm in here.
Now it's warm. It's cold. I'll just do my best to sign in.
There's one here for the, this one's for the mayor. This one's for Don.
You don't want to see me tomorrow, is that what you're saying? Is this just?
I guess you can start.
So unfortunate about that situation.
I have a motion to reconvene. Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Novak. Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Robert.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, under old business, we have public hearings on the following ordinances.
Ordinance number 537-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 4 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Saraville to amend Section 4-19, employment of off-duty police officers.
If there's anyone from the public wishing to speak, please raise your hand and come to the podium. Seeing that no one wishes to speak from the public, Councilman Conti.
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading. I have to close the public.
Yeah.
Second one. Gotcha. Sorry. I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Public hearing on bond ordinance number 538-21, bond ordinance providing for various improvements in, by, and for the Borough of Saraville, New Jersey, appropriating $3,070,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2,916,500 bonds or notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation.
If anyone from the public wishes to speak on this, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, Councilwoman Roberts, sorry.
Thank you. I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Public hearing on bond ordinance number 539-21, bond ordinance providing for various road improvements for the Borough of Saraville, New Jersey, appropriating $4,170,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,694,425 bonds or notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation.
Any from the public wishes to speak on bond ordinance 539-21, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, Councilwoman Roberts.
Thank you. I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Public hearing on bond ordinance number 540-21, bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of vehicles and equipment in, by, and for the Borough of Saraville, New Jersey, appropriating $1,836,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $1,744,200 bonds or notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation.
Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, Councilwoman Roberts.
I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Public hearing on bond ordinance number 541-21, bond ordinance providing for the acquisition of water utility equipment in the Borough of Saraville, New Jersey, appropriating $762,000, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $762,000 bonds or notes of the borough for financing part of such appropriation.
Anyone from the public wishes to speak on this ordinance, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, Councilwoman Roberts.
Thank you. I move the public hearing be closed, the ordinance adopted on second and final reading and advertised according to law.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Roberts.
Yes.
Conti.
Yes.
Delina.
Yes.
Enriquez.
Yes.
Mar. Novak.
Yes.
Public hearing on ordinance number 542-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 30 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Saraville to amend Section 30-4, 30-7, and 30-8 regarding removal of trees.
Acting Mayor, would you mind tabling this? Just because there is a question as to whether it should go in Section 30 or Section 31. And I'd like to just confirm with Mr. Rittenhouse, who has been helpful in this. I just want to let Mr. Rittenhouse know it's going to be in Section 31 versus Section 30. So if you could table it, that'd be helpful.
I make a motion to table ordinance number 542-21.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Delina,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Mar, Novak,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Thank you. We have no appointments for tonight. Under new business, Councilwoman, I'm sorry.
Introduction of ordinance number 543-21, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 14 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Saraville to amend Section 14-14.9 miscellaneous fees.
Councilwoman Novak.
I move the ordinance be approved on first reading and advertised according to law for a public hearing to be held on September 27th at prevailing time.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Novak,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Delina,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Mar, Roberts.
Yes.
If there's anyone from the public that wishes to speak on the consent agenda resolutions only listed in the agenda, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, I make a motion, or I can't make a motion, right?
Yeah, you can.
I can, okay. I make a motion to close the public portion and approve the resolutions on roll call vote.
Second.
Councilpersons Delina,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Mar, Novak,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Okay, we have a resolution to be read in full.
The resolution.
Yes. This is Resolution 2021, or, 2021-239, a resolution of the Borough of Saraville, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appointing Michael J. D. Esquire as special counsel. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Saraville, County of New Jersey, hereinafter borough, has determined a need to contract the services of attorney to represent the borough to study the police department policies and operations. Whereas the laws of the New Jersey provide for such services, whereas the law of public contract law requires a resolution authorizing such services without competitive bids must be publicly advertised. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council that Michael J. D. Esquire be appointed special counsel to investigate the allegations in the complaint entitled Taser versus Borough of Saraville in the amount not to exceed $12,000. Be it further resolved that the resolution such services without competitive bid and will be publicly advertised, and therefore be it resolved that the borough clerk and she is hereby authorized to publish a true copy of this resolution. And that's it.
Okay.
To the public.
If there's anyone from the public that wishes to speak on this resolution, please raise your hand. Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, I would like to close the public portion and approve this on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Delina,
Yes.
Conti,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Mar, Novak,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Thank you. Borough Attorney's report.
No report, Acting Mayor.
Thank you. So now we're going to the public session. If anyone from the public wishes to speak, there will be a 5-minute limitation and a one-time period that you can come up to speak for that 5 minutes. So if anyone from the public wishes to speak, please raise your hand. You can come, sir. Please say your name and your address for the record.
Michael Pinkowitz, 32 Becker Drive, Parlin, section of Saraville. November 17th, 2014. That was the first time I came. 32 Becker Drive.
Okay.
First time I came to a meeting here in Saraville to speak, it was an emergency session called by Councilwoman Novak to terminate the animal control contract with the Helmetta Regional Animal Shelter. Seems like every time I've been up here speaking, it's for an animal-related item. Today's no different. I come here tonight not affiliated with any rescue organization. I come here as a resident who rearranged his work schedule to make sure my voice was heard. My wife and I moved here in 2008. Back then, we didn't know much about rescue. Best I can tell, in April of 2010, the council either introduced or modified ordinances under section 9-13 titled Unlicensed Cats. It was this ordinance that stopped other rescue organizations from pursuing TNR efforts in Sayreville because the wording of this ordinance essentially made TNR illegal. For many years since then, the question of TNR was met with an answer that the council was following the Board of Health's recommendation and could not allow it. Well, I heard you either got or will be getting a letter reversing that stance from the Board of Health. I stated back then that I hoped the council would revise the ordinance to at least make TNR legal, so I guess we've come full circle. I've come tonight to ask the council to please vote to modify section 9-13 of Sayreville's ordinances to not only be more adoptive of the practice of TNR following the Board of Health recommendation, but to also ask the council's help in recruiting the assistance of all established 501c3 rescues in the effort. This isn't about credit. This isn't about exposure. This is not about looking good. This is about solving a problem, and Sayreville needs all the help it can get. I'd also like to ask, originally during the March 8th meeting, I submitted via email a question regarding 3-year pet licensing. So I would like to ask if that's been revisited, if it's been discussed, and what the outcome was. And finally, I'd like to ask what avenues those that cannot attend in person have to be heard by our council. Not everybody can rearrange schedules and be here. Not everybody can physically be here. But when I emailed, I was told because the meeting is in person, I couldn't email comments or it wouldn't be read into the record. So I'd like an official word of how someone would be able to express concerns if they can't physically be here to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Frankel?
Well, in reference to the 3-year pet licenses that you were looking at, we have discussed that. We decided that we're going to stick to the same 1 year at a time. There's a lot of owners that the clerk's office does a great deal of time and effort of following up that people do not pay, and then when they're not paying, when their time is due at the end of June, and they start getting penalties, it's trying to go for enforcement. We don't believe the 1 year versus 3 years. 3 years is any more easier than 1 year, so we're going to stick to the 1 year. In reference to the other question,
TNR.
It's the Board of Health.
that's the
recommendation.
board. That's
Yeah, we received a letter from them, and their stance was based off of the Middlesex County Health Departments. And they said their position states that they neither oppose nor condone these types of programs, which means that they remain neutral.
So does that mean you're not considering, or it's not going to be discussed?
It'll be discussed. At this point, we haven't had a discussion on it. This is the first that we're seeing this letter. On Friday, we received our packet. So thank you for bringing it to our attention. So it's something that we will discuss further. Okay. And then as for the others, comments from people who can't come.
so the council, I guess the council decided on a straw poll vote at the last meeting to come in person. To make in-person and virtual the same, or in other words, to make it where we have virtual at the same time as we have in person, is an expense to the borough. Not that we're not ready to do that. It's something that's hard to do. And right now, if you feel that strongly, I know you emailed, I guess, a comment that you want to read into the record. If it's the council's pleasure and you want the council will agree to that, then we have I would think that there'd be no problem reading an email into a record. But to make it virtual, it's difficult at this time right now. Knowing where COVID is at this juncture, we've heard there's even outbreaks at the schools at this at this time. I can't tell you what that's gonna end up looking like. But if the council wants to,
Does anyone on the council have issues with emails being read into the record during the public portion? No?
They were automatic.
Yeah. So I was under that impression as well. So. Virtual. Okay. That is correct. So emails will be read into the public portion now. Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to speak? Seeing that no one from the public wishes to speak, I make a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, we're going to move right into the next meeting. Oh, sorry.
I'll do it. You go, Jess.
Oh, do it, Jim. Okay, can everyone please stand for a salute to the flag? Roll call, please. I'm sorry, statement of publication first.
Take notice that this agenda session meeting of the mayor and council being held on this 13th day of September 2021 has been advertised and posted in accordance with Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
Roll call, please.
Councilpersons Conti,
Here.
Selena,
Here.
Enriquez,
Here.
Mar, Novak,
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Thank you. Under old business, does anyone have any comments on that? Okay. Under new business, nothing under new business. We'll go to communications and committee reports, and we'll start with Councilwoman Roberts.
Thank you. Applications received for bingo raffle licenses from St. Stanislaus Kostka HSA.
Second.
Just want to be grateful to Ken Kelly for the wonderful service that he provided this year for 9/11. A lot of people showed up. It was very touching. He does a great job, a really great job, and I was just honored to be invited. So I just want to thank him.
Thank you. Councilman Marr?
Council President, if I could, and I think I was not there, and I understand it was a great job, and I just would also like to recognize Nicole, who helped coordinate that too, okay? So,
I'm so sorry, Nicole. Thank you.
Yes, Nicole, you did a fantastic job. We saw you. You did a great job, as always. Councilwoman Marr?
Yes, it's off. I'd like to move the following minutes, reports be received and filed. The planning board minutes of July 21st, 2021.
Second.
Notice of public hearing to be held before the Cerebral Board of Adjustment on September 22nd, 2021 from Stephen McCutcheon and Shannon Smith for certification of nonconformity to allow a two-family residence in the R7 zone district, which doesn't permit two-family residences for 105 Washington Road.
Second.
A resolution from the planning board stating that the National Amusement Theater site qualifies as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. And I believe we are giving it the first read right now.
Yeah, if you just give me a second here. So this is just simply, and it'll be on your agenda for the next meeting, but I did receive or did prepare a resolution, and of course I can't, it doesn't download for me. But essentially, it just declares this area in need of redevelopment and allows, I got it, oh, here it is. The email is a little spotty here. So if you don't mind, I could read this that I had drafted and prepared, and I'll send it to Jess for the next meeting. And basically, whereas the local redevelopment and housing law provides a, mechanism to empower and assist local governments in efforts to promote programs of development, whereas the planning board was directed by the mayor and council pursuant to resolution dated May 10, 2021 to conduct a preliminary investigation in order to investigate the area listed within the chart below and generally described as a study area to determine if the study should be determined to be a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. Whereas the planning board retained Michael Fowler Associates to perform a preliminary investigation as to whether the study area or any portion thereof constituted an area of need of redevelopment in accordance with the land redevelopment law. The LRHL requires the board to conduct a public hearing prior to make a determination whether the study area should be designated as an area in need of redevelopment, which the board shall hear all who are interested or would be affected. Whereas the LRHL requires the board prior to conducting such public hearing, publish notice. I tell you, it's really difficult to read with this thing, isn't it? You don't mind if I take this off? Okay, because if not, I'm going to breathe this right into me. I'm sorry. Even though I'm a Cubs fan, I'm going to go right in my lungs here. Whereas the LRHL requires that such notice be mailed at least 10 days prior to such public hearing. to the last owners of relevant properties, whereas Michael Feller did prepare and provide to the planning board a preliminary investigation report for non-condemnation area dated July 2021, and said report stated that the study area meets the criteria set forth in the subsections of NJSA 48:12-A5, whereas the board held public hearings, whereas notice of the public hearing was provided, whereas notice was also provided to the property owners, whereas at the public hearing, Michael Fowler advised the study area did meet the requirements as a non-condemnation area, and whereas the Borough Council agrees with the recommendation of the borough that the study area be designated as an needed area redevelopment pursuant to the LRHL, whereas the Borough Council wishes to designate as a non-condemnation area and need a redevelopment of aforesaid properties within the study area. Now therefore be it resolved that the Borough of Saraville and the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, the foregoing recipients are reincorporated. The former National Amusement Site, Block 265, Lot 1, Block 273, Lot 1, Block 274.01, Lot 1 are hereby designated as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment under the local redevelopment housing law. The determination shall authorize the Borough of Saraville to use all powers provided by the legislature for use in redevelopment, excluding the use of eminent domain, thus designated a non-condemnation redevelopment area. The Office of the Township of Engineers, CME Associates, is hereby authorized to prepare a redevelopment plan of the subject properties and to present to the Borough Council for its consideration and referral to the Planning Board. The Borough Clerk is hereby directed to transmit a copy of this resolution by regular mail to the Commissioner of the DCA for review. Determination of the study as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment shall not take effect without receiving the review and approval of the Commissioner. If the Commissioner of DCA does not issue an approval or disapproval within 30 days, the determination shall be deemed to be approved. Notice the determination shall be served within 10 days of the determination upon all record owners of property located within the delineated area. Those names are listed on tax assessor records, and upon each person who filed a written objection hereto or upon written submission, and an address to which the notice of determination may be sent. A property owner who received the determination set forth who does not file a legal challenge to the determination affecting his or her property rights of such receipt of such notice shall thereafter be barred from filing such challenge. The resolution shall take effect immediately. This resolution will be printed and sent to Jess, and you guys can solidify it next time.
It
And
was my understanding that they requested that we vote on it tonight
Yep.
and just formalize it at the next meeting.
Yep.
So did you want to make?
So if you want to move the resolution,
I don't have the language in front of me. If you'd like to.
so it would be simply a
So moved.
resolution. Yeah, it's just to move the resolution that was read, and you will formalize the resolution at the next meeting. And thanks for allowing me to take this off.
You can do it.
What do you say? I make a motion. To approve the resolution as read.
Second. Roll call, please.
Delina,
Yes.
Enriquez,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Novak,
Yes.
I'm sorry, Roberts.
So just a question, it's the resolution as read tonight, and we vote on it at the next meeting. So we'll get a copy of it so that we can,
Conti.
yes.
Both yeses.
Okay, so my committee reports, I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't think this was acknowledged. I'd like to propose a weight limit ordinance for Kendall and Creamer roads to alleviate potential truck traffic. Also, with the 9/11 memorial, I'd also like to thank first responders who attended, our scouts, and there were even a few sports teams, and our parks people did a wonderful job. Also, NJ Feeds is returning. Recruit your favorite restaurant. Last time we only had 3 participate, but I did want to thank Jen Krasinski, who did an awesome job managing the whole process. I know over 3,000 meals were served free to our residents, and our restaurants were paid by a grant. So thank you, and please get more of our restaurants to apply. And finally, Mr. Pinkerton mentioned the dog and cat pet licensing. Jess, didn't we amend the procedure so that you didn't have to come in person anymore? That could be done online?
I'm still waiting for the IT director to go ahead with that.
Okay, but we are trying to amend the process to make it easier for
An
our
online
residents.
process.
An online process, yes.
An online.
I'll follow up with Tom tomorrow. And that's all progress.
Thank you. Councilman Conti?
Thank you very much. I move the following minutes and reports be received and filed. The Board of Health minutes of June 3rd.
Second.
All right, and then we've got an application for membership as firefighter received from Michael Breuer, accepted by Morgan Hose and Chemical Co. Number 1 at their July 1st, 2021 meeting.
Second.
All right, and we got a coin toss request for the corner of Washington and Ernst Road received from Sayreville Blue Bombers travel softball team on November 13th and 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Is that okay with everyone? Okay, perfect.
Very good, all right. So a couple of things. So I too want to just chime in. I thought the 9/11 presentation was excellent. Thank everybody for coming out. The PED, the fire department, rescue folks, et cetera. Ken Kelly and Nicole combined on a wonderful event. I was happy I was there, so thank you very much for that. I do want to, a couple of things. A concerned citizen of ours mentioned to me with schools open and traveling up and down Washington Road, he wants us to look at the right turn on red at the corner of Ernst and Washington, that it actually says that you're not supposed to do it when children are present, and it seemed like nobody adheres to that when children are present. And I'm on that road all morning with my kid, dropping off 3 kids at school, and I know kids are walking up and down the block. So I just wanted to mention that I will speak with Sergeant Braille about it and see if there's a modification that needs to be done or enforcement, perhaps. All right, because with these kids walking up and down, they're young kids. I don't want somebody to come blowing past the light because they do the rolling stop and whatnot. So I will check that out for the concerned citizen. Just the other thing that I wanted to mention as well was, I know it was a week ago or so, and I did want to thank the fire department of ours for not only taking care of business in our town, but circulating amongst Middlesex County to help out and with water rescues. Chief Mercado was telling me about all that they were doing. They were out there until middle of the night and then some, rescued a number of people from the water. Thankfully, Sayreville was in much, much better shape, but around the county, they were out in numbers trying to help others. So I do want to commend them for doing that. And everybody else in the town as well, PD, Public Works, just keep everybody safe. And I just really appreciate their efforts. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Enriquez?
Thank you, Councilman Delina. I have no minutes or departmental reports for this session. I have an application for a special event received from the following: Barkat Gisani to hold a wedding on October 1st, 2021 from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. and October 2nd from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 879 Bordentown Avenue. I just took a look and there was no denials I saw in the file for it, so.
They are using parking at the church.
Yes. Yes, okay. And we also have, unfortunately, a letter of resignation received from Donna Zaleski from her position on the Rec Advisory Board. I personally like to thank Donna for her dedication and hard work. She was quite the helper there and participated in most events. So, Donna, you will be missed. As for committee reports, the first one I like to talk about is a library grant that we were received for a total of $46,000 through the American Rescue Plan Act. We're going to be using it, the people at the library decided to put it into two separate initiatives. First one, they called it Libraries Teaching Technology, Education, and Career Help. And the second is to promote equal access to technology to all the library patrons, which they'll be purchasing hotspots and Chromebooks for the patrons to be using in the library. So they're very excited. It's a non-matching grant, so it's free money for them to use on these two initiatives. As we go on, there's a pretty busy month in October for recreation. We will start off with one of Nicole's favorites, who's been a very, very big, vital part of our Sayville Centennial celebration. It's going to be quite the event. It's going to be held October 2nd from 12 to 7:30. I could sit here for the next 5 minutes telling a list of things that we got going on. We have many contests, DJ, bands, rides, inflatables, the whole works. And we are going to finish it off with our firework display. So everybody clear their date for the 2nd. After that, we have the following Saturday, October 9th. At 9:30, we have Hit the Bricks, 5K run walk, which we have just about every year at the Capic Nature Preserve. It's $25 to register, and all participants will get a T-shirts and medals go to all the races. You could register online on that at sayvillerec.com. And then we did not work out all the details yet, but we did schedule our annual Trick-or-Trunk for October 29th. So more details on that to follow. And I just wanted to mention also the Sayville PBA this Saturday is hosting annual car show at the VFW on Journey Mill Road. So if you have time, please come out and see that and progress.
Thank you. Councilwoman Novak?
Okay, I don't have any reports. Again, like last time, I'd like to thank our water department and God that we did not have any problems with the past. We've had problems with water in the summer, alternating or whatever we've had to do to adjust to it by the water from Middlesex County, and we have not had any problems this year. Recently, almost afraid to say is we haven't had any water. So everything seems to be going real well, at least that's what they tell me over there in Florida. I would like to say, everybody's saying it, but I'd like to really congratulate everybody on the 9/11 memorial. It was so well attended, and I went and personally thanked the Girl Scout leaders and the Boy Scout leaders and the coaches that brought the young people, because 90% of them that were there were not around when 9/11 happened, and I heard a lot of us sitting around talking about where were you on 9/11. And some of the kids were actually interested in our stories. So I really want to thank all of the adults that brought children with them. That was very, very special. I have a few questions I wanted to ask. It's my understanding that Helmetta was told that they do not have to pay for building permits. Mr. Frankel, could you give us a report on that? What exactly happened?
As far as I know, it's not building permits, it was electrical permits.
Just electrical permits?
That's my understanding right now.
And who authorized that?
The mayor had a discussion with the mayor of Helmetta and the mayor of Spotswood during the flooding that went through, and they talked to them, and they felt they needed as you know, Kirk Mick is the person who's in our employee that are also employed by Helmetta. So decision was made that they weren't going to charge for permits.
I'm going to ask the lawyer. Does the mayor have the authority to make such a decision?
I think it's probably behooves any I guess, approval of a waiver of permits that the council would have to approve such a waiver of fees.
Okay. not that I have a problem with this, but this really is something that I feel that in our form of government should be done by the council and not, there's no such thing as executive decisions like this, not in this town. A few facts, I'd like to take a vote on it. A few facts that I think the council should be made aware of. Helmeta only charges us, pays us about $12,000 a year, so they don't have to hire any inspectors, and our inspectors go and do all of their inspections and permits and stuff. The last time I talked to Kirk, he said this was gonna cost us anywhere between $17,000 and $20,000. So I think, this is something, I know that when Sandy was here, we told our residents they didn't have to pay. It only affected us. In this particular case, we'd be telling another town that they don't have to pay.
Is that number accurate? Does anyone?
I got that from Kirk Mick.
I heard quite a different number.
From whom?
I have not heard that number, but if Mary heard it from Kirk.
Yeah, I got that from Kirk, because I didn't even know any of this was going on at the time. I actually got the phone call because one of our employees was crying over there. She was yelled at, and she was very upset. That's how it first came to me, so. But
So if we could get clarification on that number, please, I think that's important.
which number? What it's going to cost us or what we get paid?
What we're waiving.
What we're waiving.
Well, I think we're going to have to make a decision tonight whether we're going to waive it.
I
or we're
don't
not.
feel comfortable without knowing more information.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly want to know more information about what we're doing. I mean, if we have it all and we want to talk about it, but without that, I don't know what I'm saying, yes or no.
Yeah, again, like I said, I got that from Kirk, and that's why I felt I had to share that with you before we did make any decision.
Certainly sounds like something that I'd want to know more about, so I can weigh in.
As would I. So before any decisions are made, I want to know the exact number that they're going to have to pay.
Okay, Dan, could you just confirm or get the exact numbers?
I will confirm, I'm sure that number is not, I'm sure it's a fluid number too. I mean,
Right,
there's still
that's the
homeowners,
charge,
there's still
right.
homeowners that have been flooded in Helmeta. I can surely get a number as of, today or something like that and pass it on to the council members.
Would it be
if-
all right, Mike, if, since we don't wait 2 weeks, if Dan polled the council?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that,
Once he has the information.
I think this is important to note that you're waiving fees as a result of a superstorm Ida. And Helmeta apparently, and I don't know this, I haven't been there, but was severely impacted, and through the graciousness and kindness of the borough of Saraville, the larger municipality, that you're trying to assist the municipality in dire need. Now, as to the total sum that these electric permits would be, I don't know, but I think that, if I understand it correctly, that Helmeta has asked you to waive the fees to help their residents during this time of need. I think that's it.
Do
What
we,
I'm saying is, would we have to, could Dan just poll us on the phone as soon as he gets the information? That way we don't have to wait until the next meeting to vote on it, because Helmeta kind of is sitting out there.
I think that you can authorize the waiver of these permits, subject to Mr. Frankel providing additional information to you.
Would that be all right?
Again, without having the exact number, unless you wanted to just say that it's, you'll authorize the waiver of the permits based on the information that it's not exceeding the $15,000 or $17,000 that you had been advised by Kirk Mick.
I think we have a problem, okay? Because the problem is, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, the problem is that the mayor went ahead, and whether the mayor had the right or didn't have the right to make a decision, offered up the services of Saraville to the borough of Helmeta. If we don't follow through with this for any reason, that's something that this body should be speaking internally to the governmental issues. We helped out fellow citizens in Helmeta. I don't know what the cost is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be finished as. But for us to even debate this right now, to me, is you can debate how the process took place,
Right.
but I don't think you can debate we're waiving fees, because we said we were going to waive the fees as a borough.
Yeah, and
So
I-
whether we didn't do it correctly, if we didn't do it correctly, then we should
That's
talk.
why I just wanted to try to correct it.
I think then, based on that intention, then someone should make a motion to approve the waiver of the permits, electrical permits in Helmetta that has been requested because of the superstorm Ida that hit us over 2 weeks ago.
I have no problem with doing that because unfortunately, you know, you're kind of bound by what somebody else said. I just wanted to correct it here so that the council was approving it the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so I agree. I think we should have that conversation and understand that that's not the process.
Yeah, and
So-
I think that the mayor recognized the need, and I'm sure that if she was here, she would probably formalize it. But you can do that formalization at this point in time and adopt a resolution waiving any and all electrical permits that Helmetta has sought as a result of Superstorm Ida.
And do we have a contract for shared services with them?
Yes,
Yes, we do.
they pay $12,000. That, Denise, you probably looked that up, but that's what
What
Helmetta
actually
teaches.
happens is, we actually receive the revenue from their permits and all. So there is an interlocal, but there is no money that changes hands. We just receive whatever the Helmetta permits are. We actually take that and that becomes our revenue. Are you follow me? So it's not an actual check written from the borough for
I gotcha.
to the borough Saraville. It's their residents paying us the permit fee.
Yeah, but doesn't Helmetta pay us a certain amount of money just to go out there and do it? So the town pays us absolutely nothing.
I don't believe so. I will double check it, and get back to you, but I don't know.
It was my understanding that the town paid us a flat $12,000, and then also the people, when they paid for the permits, would pay.
I don't think so, but I'll double check.
Okay.
That's just because our guys handle the permits. That's why, that's how that works.
They don't have to have any inspectors in Helmetta.
Okay, so do you want to make the motion, Mary?
So
or-
Mary made the motion to waive the electrical permits sought by Helmetta pursuant to Superstorm Ida.
Okay. Can I have a second?
Well, I second that.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, with comment. I have a question on top of that. Are they receiving state-funded aid? Is Helmetta receiving state-funded aid that they are getting money for these permits from the state, which would naturally come to us that we're gonna waive?
Question.
Because I know everybody's seen the news, and the state is helping with all these towns that did get hit.
I believe that they have to show their receipt of a bill in order to collect anything from the state or from FEMA. So if there's,
We don't bill them.
we don't bill them, they can't, they cannot submit a bill that they were never billed for. So that's my guess, but I'll find that out.
Yeah, if the state's gonna give free money away I wanna open my hands and take it, so.
You know, that's a thought though, Dan. Can we, all of the money that we're not collecting, can we charge FEMA for that? Just a thought. FEMA,
And don't mistake me at all. I was all on board with helping Helmetta out. There was never hesitation in my mind at all. But if the state is gonna give the aid, I think it deserves to come to us if we're gonna waive those fees. Thank you.
good point.
Yes, and I agree with Damon.
I just have a question beforehand. I think one of the reasons that it was waived was to expedite the work so that the people of Helmetta didn't have to wait for recovery. So knowing that, I absolutely do want to say yes.
And I have one other item I wanted to discuss, and I'm sorry, we've never really discussed it, so I have to ask the questions here. I understand that we started a program where the employees have to check in by cameras.
No, it's a time management system.
Okay, what exactly does that entail?
It entails that there's one of three ways that an employee can check in into their workday. One can be by a camera, one can be by a phone, and one can be by a computer. It is a time management system for the employee and also for us to streamline our payroll system. So we accountability for all of the minutes that we work. That'll be for also during the day, for overtime, for vacation time, and for comp time.
And all of the employees have been trained? Because I understand some of them are saying they really don't know how to do this.
Well, we had a large training today. I don't know if every single employee has been trained. We're trying to get to that point. We're doing a soft rollout. We hope to have a hard rollout by October 1st.
Okay, how much did this cost?
I believe it was $12,000.
Where in the budget was this? Because we never discussed this at all as a council. And so it wasn't in the budget?
I believe it's being charged through your budget or IT, I don't recall.
I believe it's through IT, I believe.
Through IT.
Right. And it was $12,000. And every employee in the borough is going to be using this?
AFSCME employees and SAM's employees, the police department will not be using this right now.
Yeah, they've got their own. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For myself, I have no minutes in departmental reports. We did receive a notice of retirement from Mark Jerusowitz from his position at the Department of Public Works effective January 1st, 2022. I would like to thank Mark for his years of service that he put in the borough. I would also like to thank our Public Works Department as well, who did a bulk pickup for those residents who were affected by the storm. It wasn't a bulk pickup that was scheduled. As you know, some people's houses were flooded within Sayreville, and floods are unpredictable. Some people's homes were damaged. So I received an email from a resident asking if we would be able to schedule bulk pickup for homes. And so we set up something where residents were able to call the Public Works Department and give their address. And based off of that, our Public Works Department under Superintendent George Gavin did a wonderful job, as they always do, helping those residents, especially in a time of need. No one is able to predict how your house is going to be affected by the storm, and I hope everyone here and everyone who is watching this wasn't affected badly. I would also like to, well, Damon, you stole my my line with the PBA Car Show, and also Centennial Day. So other than that, progress. So we'll go to Dan for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. Authorization to execute a discharge of mortgage for property located at 7 George Street. Authorization to purchase one 2021 Ford Explorer for the Fire Prevention Division to the ESCNJ Contract 20/21-09 in an amount not to exceed $33,082.27. Authorization to draft a letter supporting the application of Renewable Resources, Inc., Atlantic Power Transmission LLC for its offshore wind transmission line project. Letter received from Antonio Toto Esquire appealing the police department's denial of massage parlor renewal license for massage therapy spa. We're going to need to schedule a hearing for that.
Do we want to do that right now? Look at our calendars?
When would that
Have a
happen?
date in mind?
Yeah. We could hear it the next meeting if you want. You want to do a 6 o'clock? It's not going to take that long.
It's good for me.
That's fine. That works for everyone.
Ladies, is it good for you?
If you want, do it.
May I make a suggestion?
Wanna do it?
Is it critical? It has to be the next meeting, or could it be the meeting after? Is it?
It'd be at the meeting afterwards.
We still have time?
Yeah,
I don't know.
we can do the meeting afterward.
It might be better the meeting after the next
Yeah,
meeting.
the first week of October, or the first meeting of October.
Which is this,
Which one?
because the next one is, we move to a Tuesday.
Oh, September 27th is, okay, is
Next
that?
meeting then. Yeah, we can do the next meeting.
Were you anticipating other things to do in that meeting, Dan?
Those other people that have other things going on, that we just had to make sure everyone's present if we can.
Yeah, I thought maybe we had some other stuff.
We do have other stuff.
It's not, this hearing is not gonna take very long. So if you wanna do it at 6:30 or 6:15, it's up to you, Jen.
Schedule it for 6:15.
Dan, can we go back one to the planning and zoning number 2?
Yes.
Because I don't think it was in my original packet for Friday.
So this has been something that Governor Murphy has shown a great deal of interest in wind energy and resources. And Mike Dupont and I had Mike actually went to a physical meeting. I went to it through Zoom, asking these companies that, just a letter that they were in favor of wind power, of projects.
So I can add something, Donna, if you want me to. So I went down last week and met with the attorney. There are a number of different proposals for a wind farm in North Jersey. This proposal is going through Middlesex County. It is not disrupting any roads, not disrupting any transportation areas. It's going through the railroad easement. It's being buried at least their proposal. It's being buried 8 feet under or in the railroad easement. So there's a lot of attraction for this. There are revenues that Sayreville could anticipate, near $1 million. It does fit with Governor Murphy's clean energy. This is just a proposal. There are like 3 or 4 different proposals.
So this letter wouldn't be in support of any particular one?
This will be in support of the Atlantic Power Transmission. The other towns that have also joined in this include,
South Amboy, East Brunswick, South Brunswick. It runs through that Raritan Bay all the way to South Brunswick, where there'll be a transfer station.
Yes.
That's just one. That's a proposal. It's just that we're in favor of it happening if it does happen.
Because it would be helping the residents here in Middlesex County. It's my understanding also that the county did a letter in support, but I have not seen that.
Okay, my concern was just because it wasn't in the packet, and I have been reading up on some of the wind options and have concerns about the return on investment. There have been some questions about, the materials being used, being non-recyclable, not getting enough out of the value of actually implementing it. So before we go full on into supporting something like this, I'd like to, at least have a little more consideration. So I just want to make sure we're not committing to a wind project
No. We're not
going
committing- we're
forward.
not- we're
So
not
there will
committing,
be
right.
more discussion and we'll have
Absolutely.
more of those facts.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
My first.
Authorization to award a contract to Q's Enforth Development for 2021-22 CAD maintenance in the amount not to exceed $28,164 to New Jersey State Contract T0109. Authorization to purchase firearms through a non-fair and open contract from Modern Material in an estimated amount of $39,760. Authorization to award a contract to Commercial Interiors Direct for carpeting at the Borough Hall in an amount not to exceed $52,959.90. I can thank you very much. I'm sure everybody will appreciate that. Memorializing an emergency contract issued to Quincy Compressor for a replacement air compressor in an amount not to exceed $53,600. Authorization to award a non-fair and open contract to Rock Rentals for specialized water and sewer equipment rentals on an as-needed basis in an amount not to exceed $44,000. And Councilwoman Novak, I would like you, if you could, to schedule a water and sewer committee meeting somewhere before the next council meeting. If you could talk to, I know that Denise would like to be present, I would like to be present, and Dave Leitner would like to be present. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. CFO's report?
Dan.
Just one. I just have one thing, Mr. Mayor. Authorization to amend the 2021 local municipal budget for the following: for the Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund in the amount of $5,947,913. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Woohoo, thank you.
But we still don't know how we can use it, is that right?
Correct.
So we'll have $6
And we're
million
not
sitting in the
getting
bank.
closer either. We're finding out, believe it or not.
All right.
Can we spend the interest we're gonna make on it?
Thank you. Borough Engineers Report?
Thank you, Mayor. One item, the Duhernal Well Maintenance Project has been completed. We're recommending we have a resolution at the next meeting, closing out the contract and also approving a change order with a net reduction. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Borough Attorney?
No report.
Thank you. We'll open up to the public again. Again, if anyone from the public wishes to speak, you have a one time to speak with a 5-minute limitation. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak, please raise your hand.
I move the public portion be closed.
Second.
Okay, thank you. I would just like to thank everyone who came out today to take time out of your schedules to come to our meeting, our in-person meeting. It's great to see everyone back, and we hope to see you guys again. With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. That can take care of everyone.
All right.
Oh, thank you.